today, not a whole lot of stuff. Just gotta go through the review, then we're good to go. The midterm exam on Thursday will be extremely similar to this guy. And when I say extremely, I mean, when I made one, I made the other. So it's gonna be almost the same thing. So let's look at number one. Number one is 26.58. We would like to change that to a fraction. So this guy right here, remember what I said, there are two ways to do it. I think the easiest way to change the fraction is just count. You have two decimal places, right? So that means you have two zeros underneath. You have 100 underneath, so 100, like this. And just rewrite 2658. That's it. And then just gotta simplify from here. The way I see it, you got all these even numbers, right, top and bottom. You divide by 2. So you should get 1329 over 50. And I think that's the best you can do. If you forgot to simplify this, I might just take a point off, we'll see. Depending on how you do on the rest of the midterm. But try to simplify as much as you can. Especially for stuff like 2, right? That's a pretty obvious one. But that's it. Just leave it like this. You don't have to do mixed numbers. You can if you want to, but it's up to you. Number 2. 900 and 266 thousands. So when you have stuff like this, just gotta make sure you have. I always do it like this first. Remember, I can't draw the picture, the decimal places, before I start. And I read the statement. It says 900. Well, 900 means over here, 900. So 900. And when they say and, the word and just means the decimal point. So point, then they say 266,000. Well, I have 3 decimal places here because it says thousands. Thousands means 3 decimal places, right? So that will be what? 266. Just fill in the blank, right? Once you have the line already drawn up, it's a lot easier. Number 3, 263.948. They want to know what is that in words. So I always start out with just the whole numbers. So forget about the decimal for now, right? We have 263. So I will just write 263. Then afterward, so some people say, can I say 263? I mean, if you say that, I try to, I just let it slide, but in words, you're supposed to say 263. The word and should correspond to the decimal point right here. So it should say and, or and what's after. You just gotta look at the decimal places and cover this up and be like, okay, that's 948, right? Just write 900. 48. And then you decide what the decimal place is going to be. Well, this is the last guy, right? The 8. Well, think about it. That's 10th, 100th, 1000th. So the last guy is 1000. And you just got to say so. And that's it. That's the answer. 263 and 948,000. Because you got 3 decimal places. Let's look at number 4. round to the nearest 10. So round to the nearest 10. You just have to figure out which number represents tens, right? I'm just gonna read this guy, and it says what? 5,148. Remember the trick I was telling you? This is not the 10th, not the ninth place. The 10 is this guy right here. That's the 10th place, the 40. So now the question is, the 8, would that bring it up to a 5 or keep it the same? Well, 8 will bring it up a little bit, right? So 8 said there will be 5,150. That's it. This one's not too bad. It's just easy to make it, easy to get it wrong if you're not careful with this thing. Hey, okay, how are you? 15. Let me see. Now number 5, we gotta find a parameter of a triangle. Well, what's the parameter of a triangle? It's like, here's a triangle. They're basically saying this is 6.3, this is 4, and that's 10. That's 10.2 right here. They wanted to know the parameter. Well, parameter of any shape is always the sum of all the outskirts. So just gotta add all 3 together. Add them all together. And you should get what do you get? That's 10.3. That's 20.5. And that's it. That's number 5. I think for the first 5 problems, number 3 is probably the toughest one because you gotta write out the words, you know. But I'll be easy on that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go crazy with this thing. As long as you have roughly the idea, then yeah, I'll take it. Number 6. So now we have a truck that travels 307 miles on 16 gallons of gas. So here's the way I would do it. They want to know what's the miles per gallon, the MPG. Well, what's the MPG? It's always the miles divided by the gallons of gas that you're taking. So if you look at this guy, that's 307 miles divided by 16 gallons of gas. So that's how far you travel divided by how much gas you use up. And just put in a calculator, right? So it's, let me see. Well, you know what? I can't use calculator because my phone is running right now. So, just divide and see what you get. Maybe I can use the computer. 19.1875. 80 or
875.
875. And thank you so much. And now look at this thing. It says round it to the nearest 10th.
No, it's 1875.
Or 1875. And then round to the nearest 10th. The first guy's a 10th, right? So that's 19.2. That's all they want. So 10 is the first decimal place. So 19.2. Now number 7 is actually not bad at all because what's going on this day? For number 7, the new dryer is $890 or $95. And they want to find the sales tax, which is 0.1 or 0.10 times the price. And for those who are well versed in percentage and tax, that means 10% tax, right? That's about, I mean, that's higher than what we pay here. I think we're at what, 7%? Or is that 8? 7%? South Carolina is like 9%, depending on if you go to Beaufort or something. So you just gotta figure out how much tax you gotta pay. So the tax is, if you put in the calculator, 89.5. The problem is, the question is gonna ask, not just for the tax, it says what? What is the total amount you gotta pay? You don't just pay tax, right? You pay the tax on top of the sales price. So you gotta add them up. 895 plus 89.5. So that'll be 984.50. $984.50. And that's the total for number 7. So on number 7, let's say you do the tax and you forgot to add it up together. I'll just take a bunch. So every problem is 4 points. Now one about number 8. Number 8 is 1.7 squared plus 2.57 divided by 0.5. It looked crazy because of all this order operation stuff. But here's what I say all the time. Always focus on the square. The exponents comes first before anything else. 1.7 squared, what is that equal to? 1.7 times 1.7? 2.89. Thank you. Something like that's right. Then in the next step, you know division comes before addition. So you gotta work this out first. So just copy the 2.89 plus and just complete this operation and you should get 5.14. And then once you add them together, what do you get? 3, so 8.03. All right, and that's the answer. Use a calculator now, just use a calculator, get the answer. This one is. Actually, I'll be right back because I better erase it than this. I don't know what's going on with the person who had this class before. I think I'm the only person in this campus to bring their own supplies. So they always got this trash and I don't know what's going on. Like these stuff that you can't use. And look at this. It's all dark. I don't know what's going on. I feel the board got destroyed. Look at this. That's so bad. Let's go erase it. Now we look at number 9. So we've got. Just gotta be careful with the way they're writing. It's 5.4 times 4.9. Now looking at this thing, just remember, division and multiplication comes first before addition. But remember, division and multiplication are on the same level, right? So you gotta do this one first. So do the division first, then you do the multiplication, and then you do the addition. So they're in those orders. And that's when you really need to use a calculator, and that's what's hard. So what's 31.32 divided by 5.4? Anybody got the answer yet?
$5.8.
5.8? And then that's times 4.9, right? Then the next thing would be the multiplication. But you put in 5.8 times 4.9 to see what you get.
28.42.
20.42?
28.42.
So now we gotta see, let's add them up. You got 2, 8. That'll be 80.82. That's it, follow me now. It's not easy to just, you just gotta be careful with the signs and all. So definitely tougher than the other problems. Now for number 10, it's just exactly what you see is what you get. 27.8 divided by 1.9. Just gotta divide it. And you know what, I'm going to go get a, let me go get a calculator, because I cannot do this in my head. Let's see, I have 14.6316 basically. And then if you look at what do they want you to do? They want you to round to the nearest hundredth. So 100th is 2 decimal places. That's right. So that will be 14.63, because this one right here will not make the 3 go up more. It will just keep it the same. Now some people might ask me, hey, what if I run it wrong after I got the right answer? I'll probably just give you full credit, because this is not a question regarding rounding. It's about multiplication and division. So as long as you get that done, you're all okay. But it's good to have a habit of getting it right the first time with the rounding. For those who've been, doing those homework on horse learning, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't run it correctly, the computer just says wrong. even though they really should just say, hey, you forgot to run. Now what about number 11? For number 11, it's 13 over 15. It's a fraction. They want to know what is that as a decimal number. So this guy's gonna be the top divided by the bottom, 13 divided by 15, which you can then put in the calculator. Let's see, what do you do? 13 divided by 15. I have 0.8 and then repeating decimal. Like this. How come it's always 666? And I swear, every time we do something like this, it's always like the number to bees or something like this. So now, how do we run it? They say to run to the nearest thousand. So thousands mean 3 decimal places. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's the third decimal place, right? The 6, right? So that will be 0.86, and this guy will bring it up to the 7. So 5 to 9, bringing it up, right? Now let's look at number 12. 9.102 minus 8 over 15 plus 7, 13 over 50. Now this one is definitely, it looks bad because of all those fractions and all that. But remember, right, your answer is gonna be in decimal number and they want the answer to be in thousands. So preemptively, before you add and all this, how about this? I'm gonna put 8 over 15 in the calculator. Do 8 divided by 15, and I have 0.533. And I run it to the third decimal place. Right, so I run to the thousand. Plus 7 point. Go ahead and divide 13 divided by 50. I got 0.26, so that's 7.26. So you see for the mixed number, just write the 7 as a whole number. 13 divided by 50 is 26. Just leave it like that. And after this, just put everything in the calculator. 9.102 minus 0.533 plus 7.26. And I have 15.829. And that's the best you can do for this problem. So let's look at number 13. Number 13 is find the mean. Of 73, 43, 83, 13, 92, 92, and 49. So remember, the mean is pretty easy. I know we didn't have a chance to cover it last week, but I know most of you guys already know how to do it. To find the mean of numbers, all you need to do is add them all together. Just add everything together. It's the sum. divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did the one with the fractions, but we didn't do the one for this. But just add all them together, divide by how many you have. So if you add them all together, what do you get? 73 plus. So that's 445 divided by 7. So divided by 7, what do I get? 63. 63 point. Let me see. They want you to round to the next hundredth. So 2 decimal places, and that's 57. That's it. So that should be pretty easy. Only way you can get this wrong is when you add, you forgot to add certain numbers or type the numbers wrong or something. So double check the answer for this one. Now number 14 is to find the median. That's the one that we did not cover, and I was hoping to cover that on Thursday, but not a big deal. What I'm gonna do right here. Gotta find the median of 2, 61, 36, 11, 18, and 36.